Welcome to Swish and Flick, an all-Potter podcast.
Swish and flick. Everyone? Swish and flick.
Hello and welcome to episode 36 of Swish and Flick. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Megan.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Yellow Moharas.
It's been a while.
That's my full, not my whole name, but that's my name
It's
backwards.
been a while since that's happened.
Yellow Mo.
Second to understand the first name.
I could do my full name, which would be Yellow Moharas. What's mine? I don't know. Yellow Mo.
Figure it out. I'm like crying.
Yaneffit.
Yanfit.
Yanfit.
So Yellow Mo Yanfit.
I sound really cool. You're like, no. Okay.
It'd be Yellow Mo E-R. E-R? Yar.
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 Yanfit.
The E is silent.
I'm sorry if nobody understands what we're doing, but you know.
Names backwards. Okay, anyways, this episode is sponsored by Lindsay Wobb, so thank you, Lindsay. Today we will be discussing chapter 13. Unlucky?
Ding, ding,
Perhaps.
ding, ding. Unlucky for Harry.
Hey,
Harry.
so he learned some things, so I'd say it's pretty lucky for him.
All right then. Of Harry Potter and the Chamber o' Secrets, the very secret diary. So make sure that you have read the chapter and you're ready to dive into the details. Before we begin, wow, let's go to Megan for some housekeeping.
Different verbiage, right?
All right.
So we'd like to give a shout out to Studio, who sent us some awesome wireless headphones. While we're recording this episode, Katie's wearing her new pair of our new pair of Studio Regent White headphones.
They feel great on my ears.
So you can get your own pair at studio.com, and it's SUDIO.com, and use our 15% off discount code Swish and Flick without any spaces. So on to that, let's talk about some social media channels. Swish and Flick Podcast can be found on Facebook, using Swish and Flick Podcast to search. I said that weird, sorry.
It's fine.
Or Swish Flickcast on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure that you join our Facebook group for discussion. That is where we're most active, and we have some really awesome conversations in there, and I really love it. Lastly, well, not really lastly, but in terms of social media, lastly, I am totally messing up this paragraph, guys. I apologize.
We
Make
don't
sure that
care.
you head on over to YouTube and subscribe to Swish and Flick's channel.
The tube of you.
We not only have our podcasts posted there, but we also do have weekly vlogs that go up. Follow us on our crazy Potter-filled adventures together. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Check it out. You can also join us on Patreon for exclusive access to our bi-monthly podcast, The Felix Files, where we delve into different theories on Potter. We talk a little bit of Fantastic Beasts. We talk about
Fan fiction.
fan fiction with Megan and Katie. All kinds of fun random stuff that just doesn't flow well with our weekly chapter readings, so it's some bonus content. You can also join us for a Google Hangout session and can even be a guest on the Felix Files. So make sure that you head on over to patreon.com/swishflickcast and choose your support level. And thank you, huge thank you to all of our current patrons. We couldn't do it without you.
We love you.
Yeah, we do.
And now, 'tis time.
It is.
For the weekly profit.
Woo! So
What do you have?
we were talking Crimes of Grindelwald, right, the other day? Well,
Yes.
a couple weeks ago now at this point.
Yes.
The trailer came out, and there was some controversy
What?
about the trailer because there was a huge
Serenity now, friends.
there was a huge plot hole. Huge plot hole.
Is there though?
I'm sorry, people apparated onto Hogwarts grounds. What was this?
When did that become so as a law where you couldn't do that?
Well, Mashable has an article.
Oh. Let's look.
Ooh, that sounded like it was the Fantastic Beasts trailer.
I want to watch it again to see when that happened. Also,
It's
Like in
right
the
in the
beginning.
I know, I'm watching it. I just want to say that I don't think that those things were set in place at this time. That's my go-to
Sarah,
It was
I'm
a discussion.
with you.
Yeah. there's that. It says, when a trailer for the upcoming Fantastic Beasts sequel released, a second-long clip sent the Potter Twitterverse into an absolute frenzy, decrying a perceived plot hole in the most Hermione way possible. As Hermione says, "You can't apparate inside the Hogwarts grounds. How often do I have to tell you?"
A lot.
Honestly, don't you
That
two
is a
read?
good thought.
Dude, say
Well,
it. Don't forget it. Can she say it?
Well, it has nothing to do with the apparating.
Oh, type it,
It has
Sarah.
no,
Write
but
it down.
it does have to do with the trailer.
Sure. Oh, okay, go.
You know when he you see the ripped up thing, when you see the ripped up postcard.
Yes.
Yes.
So what if he didn't rip it up? What if Tina rips it up because it's from like whatever her name is? So what
Lita.
if she rips it up and he sees it and he's like, and like
I
puts it
just
back
saw.
together?
I just saw something related to the postcard, and if you pause the video and look at the ground,
Shut up.
Tina's necklace is on the ground.
Sarah's
Thank
a
you.
genius.
Yeah, so who knows?
We know, right, that he was in a relationship
Yes.
with her, and then now
Yes.
she's engaged to the brother.
Yes.
So
Awkward.
Shady.
she probably knows it because they're kind of like, we all know they're gonna get together. And if you don't, sorry, you should know the history of this before you even start watching Fantastic
I mean,
Beasts.
even like part
spoil
of the
things
Potter universe, it's said that
Yeah.
Tina marries Newt.
So
I mean,
if this was me, she
I'd
probably
rip it
knows
up.
the backstory
Yeah.
and their relationship, and so she sees it, and maybe it's something like, "I'm really sorry, like I want to be friends." And she's like, "You know what? Nah, you little bee," rips it up, throws it. And he's like, "Wait, I want to see what that says." It's like she leaves.
but he's like smiling when he reads it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he's still in love with
We
her a
know
little
that
bit.
Lita
Then you
is in Paris, and the postcard's from Paris. So
Things
Yeah,
are gonna
but-
get a little crazy.
I digress.
We need to have another episode.
on Grind. Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. If we have time, like this week or next week or something, we should like Skype it together.
we're gonna
Talk
need to
about
do
crimes
that.
of Grindelwald. Because more stuff is just coming out on a daily basis now about like people's theories, and I love them. And people are catching new things in the trailer, and it gives us
Yeah.
more to talk about. So.
Yeah.
But
Anyways.
actress Jessica Williams, who is in the film and also apparently a massive Potter fan. She's a comedian, podcast queen, though not as good as us, obviously. Actress and former Daily Show correspondent. Also biffles with J.K. Rowling herself.
What does biffles mean?
Best friends forever.
You've never heard that?
Well, I've heard of like BFF.
Yeah, biffle.
I just called biffle.
Well,
Biff.
have you ever heard this?
No, because it's incorrect. Because biffle implies that there's an I in there.
Well, I don't know. That's just a thing.
I call them biffs,
I'm not.
which I guess does still have an F. I guess. I mean, but
I'm not hip to your lingo, children.
friends forever.
Well,
Best friends
I got
forever.
biff. Biffles threw me off. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So Jessica Williams assures Mashable that everyone just needs to have a little faith, and this is her quote. David Yates and Joe, who wrote the script, who
Amen.
knows more about the Potter universe person than the person who. Oh, hold on.
Start
Let me
over.
start over. David Yates and Joe. Who knows more about the Potter universe person than the person who created it? Nobody, not a single person, she said in response to the controversy. So, like, LOL, what do you mean? Don't you think that will be addressed in the film? Don't you think there's a reason for it? Do you think that you know more than she does on this subject?
Preach.
So she doesn't really give us why it's allowed, but she just says have faith in Joe.
This war could be the reason why that is
A thing.
in place.
Yeah, that's a
a good
great
idea.
thought.
I'm just
So
saying.
here's my question, general, about this stuff.
Do
When
it.
did the first screenplay come out? Did it come out when the movie came out?
Yeah, the
So
written one?
Correct.
Yeah.
She's doing it again where she's releasing the screenplay. The skeenplay.
I wanted to call you on that because skiing is
Um,
hilarious.
I think that it came out like,
It came out after.
did it? But not very long after.
It came out the same day that Pokemon Sun and Moon came out because I bought them all at the same time.
I just want. Well, I didn't read the first screenplay, but I mean, I saw the movie.
I have
And
it, but I haven't read it. Yeah.
And
I have it. I
would
haven't
be.
read it.
I mean, I'm gonna read it because I.
Well, it's going to be part of our
Eddie
It came
Redmayne-
out?
Yeah, Eddie Redmayne said that he was like, it's one of the most detailed scripts, and especially because she
Which
wrote it.
I think
'cause
is
she-
amazing because
Yes, and
Yeah.
normally that does not happen. And she's such like, she wants to, as much as like her vision is, she wants to put it on paper
She's
be
good
so
at
descriptive.
it. She's good at what she does.
Yeah.
And I think that people, like, there's articles that have been coming out lately about how, like, we need to how, like, J.K. Rowling shouldn't represent the wizarding world anymore, and I just laugh. Like, how dare somebody suggest that J.K. Rowling can't own her own?
How can you exile the
World.
person who created it?
I mean,
A freaking men.
yeah, no.
Can I point out?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was released November 10th, 2016. Pokemon Sun and Moon.
So, was that a couple days before?
Hold
the
on.
movie?
That
think
was,
it was.
no.
When did the movie come out?
The screenplay was released, I think, the same day as Pokemon Sun and Moon, which was November 18th. So that's after the movie.
But just a couple days.
A week.
Okay.
That's not
About a week.
Not too
A
Yeah.
little over a week. I mean, I guess I could look up.
terrifying.
Either way, J.K. Rowling knows what she's doing.
I love that bird. I love
I
that
think
bird.
that we all just need to take a chill pill and have a little faith in the queen of writing.
of her own
I
world.
think that
Like,
Right.
I think that there's been such like a big gap in between like the last book, so Deathly Hallows and like anything really big Harry Potter wise, like not like including Cursed Child and the Fantastic Beasts movies, that like we've flourished so much with like there's so much like the internet is so like
Saturated with content.
saturated with content and people talking about it and like people writing fan fiction and what they want to happen, that it
People
might
have
not-
their own ideas.
Yes, and it might
Yeah.
not go the direction that you want it to, but it's going in the direction that she is like, no, this is it. It's her
I like
world.
that.
Like
Right.
we're just living in it.
She's the writer, and what she says is what happens. Like,
yeah, we might not agree with it, but
Right.
she's like, I don't care.
yeah.
Right.
She
I
said.
mean, it is what it is, and that's
Right.
that's what causes these discussions, and that's what makes podcasts like this exist, and that's why we get to have fun.
Yeah,
So
and that's exactly why I posted that meme. It's like, but Professor, you can't apparate within Hogwarts. Shut the hell up, Harry, and enjoy the trailer.
I like the one where
Right.
they're like, oh, I'm like kind of excited, like whatever, to watch the trailer. Like Hogwarts isn't really whatever. They watch it and they're like, give me my wand. I'm going to Hogwarts.
go pack my trunk and call me Harry.
it still blows my mind of like, I know a couple people who are like, claim to be big Potter fans and maybe are big Potter fans, but like have not seen Fantastic Beasts. So I'm
Calling
like,
people
how?
out on the podcast?
There's so many people that
I just like don't understand how you wouldn't want to just eat up that content. Like
I'm
she's
surprised-
giving you more story.
Well, there's people that don't even know. They're like, this is a movie? I'm like,
Yeah.
do you live under a rock? I'm
I think
sorry.
you
Like, I
do.
don't mean it in a mean way. I don't know. Because
As far as the Potterverse goes, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and like I said, maybe a couple episodes ago, I said like, we're speculating and we're living the speculation again within
I know.
Potter.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm so excited.
And we crave it. We've craved it for years now, you guys. So I'm like, I'm down. I'm down to have conversations.
Oh,
You
yeah.
want to get mad about apparition? You do you, boo. Let's talk about it. Like, I'm all about it.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I love it.
agree.
I love it.
Speaking of some other speculation,
What do you got for me on that little iPhone X?
In our last episode, we asked a question about whether the Sorting Hats wanted to place Harry in Slytherin because of the Horcrux, if that was more of the influence,
or
right?
Yes.
Or
was it Harry
was it just
himself?
Harry
Just
himself?
Harry. I'm just Harry.
So we got some responses on Twitter.
Tis.
Somebody said, "Whoa."
Whoa!
Literally never thought of that. This feels like the HP equivalent of nature versus nurture.
Ooh.
That shout out to Joe. He sent us that on Twitter. We also have Lindsay.
Wait, Joe Rowling?
I wish. But, Joe on Twitter is just as cool. Thanks for being a listener.
Sorry.
Tiffany almost spit out her coffee.
You're so lucky that's not hot. By the way, will you heat this up?
I will.
Lindsay on Twitter said, definitely the Horcrux. I don't think Harry was super ambitious. All of the power was thrust upon him. He didn't go looking for it. He wasn't the best student, and when he thought his dream of becoming an Auror was done because of his potions OWL, he was just like, oh well, LOL, and didn't try to pursue it. Which that's
agree.
a great point.
I agree, and I disagree with that because you just
can
have to,
be ambitious.
You just look at what James did,
Yeah.
and if he's and Lily, I think they were both pretty ambitious.
Yeah. He's got it in him.
I don't know.
But I think his bravery ousts that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that a good word to use? Out.
Overshadows
it?
Shadows.
Yeah.
Stronger. Words. Sarah.
Yeah.
I scare you.
No, I'm just not paying attention in the least because I'm literally
What?
watching the trailer on silent and like trying to see if I can.
Oh
anything.
my
Are you trying to
gosh.
see her necklace? It's like
No, I
on the
already saw
floor.
that.
Oh,
There's
okay.
also you see scissors on the floor, so that's
Scissors.
and something else that I can't identify. No, I meant the because it's very. It's I'm going literally. Like,
I just love the
pausing
face
and
you made.
unpausing.
It was like you're one of my kids
Yes.
in my class.
No, because you're gonna call on me, and I wasn't listening.
Yes.
We also have Trista said, I think Harry had a constant desire to prove himself, and that plays a large role in his determination. Definitely don't deny that the Horcrux could play a large role, but I personally feel like Harry has a lot of attributes and would have thrived in Slytherin. Hashtag Slytherin pride. Woo woo! Yeah, Slytherins.
Okay.
So I made it a poll, and we had 57 people vote in this poll.
Holy mackerel.
Just on Twitter.
Wow. Okay.
And Horcrux wins out 65% to 35% Harry. But I think that oh, no. It was, the last time I checked, it was like neck and neck even. But then Horcrux pulled forward. We also posted it on our Facebook group. Let me pull up that so that we can see.
Yeah. I think I voted.
Whoa.
Horcrux.
We had 69 people vote on Facebook. 60 said Horcrux, 9 said Harry.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay.
So I would,
Overwhelming response for Horcrux
Yeah.
on both platforms.
yeah.
And I think I agree. I voted.
I think Horcrux.
I love what everyone was saying.
Yeah.
Love the discussion.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. All right.
Do you know what time it is?
I know what time it is, but Sarah has something to say.
Did you guys notice, and maybe it was just me, so Crimes of Grindelwald, when you look at it, doesn't the line under Fantastic Beasts look like a wand?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
Oh yeah.
Like, because isn't his wand, like, very...
I wonder if that's Grindelwald's wand.
I was going to
Is-
say, I wonder if it's Newt's wand, because Newt has a very, like, isn't his
does
wand
look
very
like that.
simple?
straight.
Yeah.
Well, did you see the new logo for the Wizarding World?
Well, aren't the Hallows
Awesome.
in the
Yeah.
words?
The Elder Wand.
Elder Wand,
And I'm thinking, because that's
invisibility cloak.
the only O. And
Yeah, and so you think that's Newt's?
could be. It
Could
looks
be.
like a wand, because
Sure.
it's thicker.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
His wand, it does look like that.
I'm
yeah.
gonna
It's
look.
very simple.
I'm gonna look at the.
Did you guys see the logo?
Yeah.
It's awesome how it's
So whose wands are that in order?
it is Voldemort,
Okay.
and then I think it goes Ron, Hermione, Harry,
Elder wand.
Elder Wand,
In the middle?
Newt, Tina, Queenie,
And then there's Jacob's as a plain stick.
Grindelwald.
Interesting.
The
It
comparison,
is.
it's like a mirror, right? Of like kind of who they
Well, hold on, I got it.
It's
are
like
in the world.
this is the original story. Now we're on our new story. Your villains are in the
What if this sets it up for more
go all the
ones
way
to
around.
keep
That's what it looks like.
going? Yeah.
and the elder one in the middle,
Yes.
which could be considered Dumbledore's wand because he's in the middle of both stories. Holy crap!
Yeah. He is. He's an important
I'm sorry about your
piece.
ears. I heard I bust drums.
Sorry, guys.
It could just
I'm
keep
not
continuing with four
I
more
really-
wands that are the Marauders.
Yeah.
Ooh, and then
But
the
like
Founders.
she may have set herself up for this. Like, who knows what her plans are in the future?
I don't know, but I'm loving every second of what's happening
Yes.
in our fandom right now.
I'm all about it. Okay, now it's time
I
for.
just got so many feels. Recap.
You went right into that. I
I was
love
ready
it.
for it.
I was
Harry,
gonna record it and you did it too fast.
Harry avoids trouble again.
Because he's
Harry Potter.
the Potter effect.
And we meet Fox, a sweet phoenix.
Wee bird.
The Polyjuice potion was ready. Harry and Ron managed to get into the Slytherin common room by sheer dumb luck. Shout out to McGonagall. And we discovered that the Chamber of Secrets was indeed opened 50 years ago.
Enemies of the air, beware.
But Malfoy, not the heir of Slytherin. And poor Hermione, she turns into a cat.
She puts herself in a hairy situation.
Guys, someone would say.
I don't know if any more of my summaries are that good. So
Oh,
then
man.
I might. It's just
You
downhill
might
from
need
now.
to rework them
you have to
add
like
a funny line
edit
in.
them a little bit.
So Harry and Ron leave Hermione in the hospital wing with her homework, and they hear Filch complaining about water in the corridor. So they go and see Myrtle's bathroom is flooded, and they find that someone threw a book at her. Harry takes the book back with him to the common room. After a scuffle with a winged dwarf, Harry realizes something about the diary. Later, he writes in said diary, and someone named Tom writes back. Tom shows Harry how the Chambers of Secrets was opened last time. It ends with news that Harry does not want to hear. Well, or believe.
What could it be?
We don't know. Let's go find out. Hey, hey. All right.
He opened it 50 years ago. He just doesn't remember.
Wow.
Amnesia.
Too many bludgers. All right.
Oh my god.
The start of the chapter begins with Hermione still in the hospital wing, and a flurry of rumors are all around the school in regards to her whereabouts. So most people thought that she was attacked, rightfully so.
She was by her own stupidity.
And students would actually venture up to the hospital wing to try and catch a glimpse of her in all her furry glory. And the start of the new term, Harry and Ron visit her every night and bring her homework. Ron, in true Ron fashion, says that he would take a break from schoolwork if he had whiskers.
Yeah. I agree.
This is the first instance where, like, somebody at Hogwarts who, like, can't be in class actually seems to care about getting work done. You know what I mean?
That
like
we've
somebody,
seen.
right? But
Yeah.
like somebody asked, they're like, does Hogwarts even care about like schooling?
I'm not
like,
exactly sure they're concerned with grades.
Well, because like Colin basically misses all year, and he's just a second year next year.
But
We don't know that he didn't do remedial summer work.
This is true.
A, B, do they care that she, like, they want her to make sure that she's doing her homework, or does Hermione care?
Hermione cares.
Exactly.
I'm sure.
Like,
that
if it
this
was
instance
Ron,
is Hermione.
they probably been like, just take it easy. And Ron would be like, yeah, I will.
And you know, Madame Pomfrey is like, you need your rest. Because
Yeah.
that's just the type of person she is. But honestly, if I was Hermione, I'd get my homework done too because I'd be
would
bored
too.
stiff.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Butterfly.
Or I would just read Harry Potter over and over.
Let me read my own story.
If I would do my homework, I'd probably nap.
I would probably.
Taylor Swift.
I'd probably watch Boy Meets World, some ER.
They don't
Going
have
back in the
TVs.
I'm talking about me personally. If I was out sick for like
But
a
if
month
it was
and a
like
half,
the early 90s.
Boy
Video
Meets World,
games.
Nintendo.
Your video games.
Are we going to sing everything? Because that would be
Yep.
cool. Okay. So yeah, that's typical Ron stuff. Hermione's spirits have gone up though since she changed into half of a cat, pretty much. Her hair had all gone from her face, and her eyes were turning back to brown. And she was feeling almost back to her normal self again. The boys had no new leads on who the heir of Slytherin could be, and Ron kept saying that he was, quote, so sure that it was going to be Malfoy for about the 100th time. And so while they're up there visiting Hermione, Harry spots something gold under Hermione's pillow. And she tries to hide it, but Ron is too fast and he snatches it from her. And it says, to Miss Granger, wishing you a speedy recovery from your concerned teacher, Professor Gilderoy Lockhart, Order of Merlin, 3rd class, honorary member of the Dark Force Defense League, and 5-time winner of the Witch Weekly's Most Charming Smile Award. Ugh. I'm smiling. You can't see me.
Do you ever get tired of writing that every time?
I do. I know I do. And so Ron was disgusted. And I said, are you jelly much?
Oh, he is.
He's so jelly. That's my wife.
Maybe he's thinking, I can't believe someone this smart likes someone this dumb.
There is that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And so as Harry and Ron leave, Ron can't stop thinking about the get well card and calls Lockhart the, quote, smarmiest bloke you've ever met. I love using the word smarmy to describe people, by the way. So that's probably where I got that from. Snape has given them a ton of homework, and it might take them until their 6th year
Is that a ding?
There is
always
a
a
star.
I start it.
Sorry.
Yeah. We'll see. Take her bell. Before they are able to finish all of it. And just then, Harry and Ron hear an outburst from the floor above, and it is Filch. And he says, "Even more work for me, mopping all night like I haven't got enough to do. No, this is the final straw. I'm going to Dumbledore."
You
I
do
hope
that,
he said
Filch.
it just like that.
I'm sure he did.
I'm going to Dumbledore.
Tiffany, do it in Filch's voice.
Oh, you're gonna. Try
You
to
just
record
kind of
me?
did it. No.
Oh. I don't know. What does he say? What did I just read? No, I can't. I can only do calm Filch. I have not yet mastered angry Filch, which,
Practice in your spare time, please.
well, I can do the writing on the wall thing very well, only because it's so good in the movie, but I'll practice. Don't worry.
Thank you.
So Filch was patrolling his usual spot, which is the spot where Mrs. Norris had been attacked, oddly enough, right outside Myrtle's lair. And so he's still trying to find the attacker. The corridor, we find out, had been flooded, and the water was coming from the bathroom, a.k.a. Myrtle's lair.
Why is she wasting so much water?
She just, she's not really caring about the environment. We don't know if these are her tears. I don't know what's happening. The boys went to go and see what was wrong with her. And Myrtle was crying more and louder than usual. The candles were all extinguished, and the rush of water, as Megan breaks her new phone, had left the corridor flooded and the walls and floors wet.
Like,
Jeez.
what does she do?
I just envision her just
Jumping.
toilet,
Yeah.
toilet, like, and all this
Splashing
everything
everywhere.
going everywhere.
Like hopping
Yes.
over each stall.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
She doesn't
Harry,
have to hop over the stall. She can go through the stalls.
But I envision
No, I need her to
hopping
hop.
over it
Yeah.
because then it's,
It's
like
the
she'd get
rush.
more velocity going down into the toilet.
True.
how
Shoo, shoo.
can she interact with
The water.
the water?
Interesting.
Maybe.
Is she like busting pipes?
Maybe it's like air, like it's
Yeah,
like if you
yeah,
go through a
yeah,
solid
like the ocean.
object. Yeah, like if
In
you go
the-
through a
in the
solid
rain.
object, it's not really gonna move, but maybe it'll wobble, but like you're not gonna break it.
Will it weeble?
Maybe weeble wobble.
Maybe
then
if
fall
she
down.
Weeble
has
wobble, people.
so much emotion that she like solidifies a little bit.
It's an emotion ocean.
An emotion ocean.
Ocean of emotion,
Whoa.
That's deep, Sarah. That's deep.
like the ocean.
Gosh, keep going. Do you have any more?
No,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
Her ocean emotion causes motion. Oh.
Oh, Katie is a wordsmith.
I feel like that's lyrics from a song.
Is it?
What?
What, Motion Ocean?
Yeah. Got the ocean. Oh my god, it's hairspray.
Oh,
It's hairspray.
I haven't seen Hairspray.
I know what you're talking
Now
about.
I'm
but I
trying
don't
to
know
think
the
of like the line.
Well, look it up. Okay. So Harry asks her, "What's up?"
words. What's up with that?
What up with that? And so she says, "Who's that?" Glugged Myrtle miserably. Come to throw something else at me." Harry waded. That's how high this water is. Across to her
Waded.
stall and said, "Why would I throw something at you?" "Don't ask me," Myrtle shouted, emerging with a wave yet of more water, which splashed onto the already sopping floor. "Here I am, minding my own business, and someone thinks it's funny to throw a book at me." "But it can't hurt you if someone throws a book at you," said Harry reasonably. "I mean, it'd just go right through you, wouldn't it?" He had said the wrong thing. Myrtle puffed herself up and shrieked, "Let's all throw books at Myrtle because she can't feel it. 10 points if you can get it through her stomach. 50 points if it goes through her head. Well, ha, ha, ha. What a lovely game. I don't think." "Who threw it at you anyway?" Harry asked. "I don't know. I was just sitting in the U-bend thinking about death." "And it fell right through the top of my head," said Myrtle, glaring at them. "It's right over there. It got washed out." Harry and Ron looked under the sink where Myrtle was pointing. "Looked under the sink."
Oh.
A small, thin book lay there. It had a shabby black cover and was wet as everything else in the bathroom. Harry stepped forward to pick it up, but Ron suddenly flung out an arm to hold him back.
I found the lyrics.
Okay.
It's from Hairspray.
Okay.
You can't stop the beat.
Okay.
'Cause you can't stop the motion of the ocean or the sun in the sky. You can wonder if you wanna, but I never ask why. And if you try to hold me down, I'm gonna spit in your eye and say that you can't stop the beat.
It doesn't say emotion.
Motion of the ocean.
Oh.
The motion of the ocean.
You
or
should
the sun
not
in the
spit
sky.
in people's eyes.
I'm gonna spit in your eye. Well, I said it first.
All right, so what else happens in the bathroom?
So Ron's trying to hold him back from the book, saying it could be dangerous, and Harry scoffs at the comment, and he says, how could a book be dangerous?
Oh, Harry,
So
another
Ron-
thing you don't know about the Wizarding World.
Ron says, you'd be surprised, who was looking apprehensively at the book. Some books that the ministry's confiscated. Dad's told me there was one that burned your eyes out. And everyone who read Sonnets of a Sorcerer spoke in limericks for the rest of their lives. And some old witch in Bath had a book that you could never stop reading. You just had to wander around with your nose in it, trying to do everything one-handed. And then he gets cut off.
What if there was a cursed Dr. Seuss book and then you had to rhyme everything for the rest of your life? And you like talked and made up words.
Terrible. Terrible.
I think it'd be funny.
It'd be horrible.
And so Harry picks up the diary, and the date in it was made from 50 years ago.
That was a good ding.
It was
you.
good. T.M. Riddle's name was in the book. And this lights a bulb in Ron's brain because he knew the name from his night in detention when he had to polish the shield of the award this person received about 50 times.
One time for each year.
Yep. Because of puked up slugs.
But
And we find out that the diary was blank, and he questions, why would someone want to flush it away? And also, Harry looks at it and he makes the connection that the owner of this must be Muggleborn because of the location where the diary was purchased, Vauxhall Road, London.
That is interesting to me that he would really
So-
even know that because the Dursleys don't let him go out ever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but he learns things in school.
So I looked
Did
it.
he?
I looked it
Not at
up,
Hogwarts.
and Vauxhall Road isn't some. It's not a road, but it is a bridge. And it kind of makes me think
Are there
like
stores on the bridge?
no, but it kind of makes me want to think that like this could be like maybe the bridge that was modeled in Deathly Hallows when it's like twisting and stuff. Like maybe with the Muggles when the Death Eaters are like taking
That's
off.
the Millennium Bridge.
It's a real bridge.
Yeah, it's really there.
Son of a biscuit.
Sorry.
you tried.
Whatever, it's a bridge in London. That's all I have on that. And so Ron determines that the diary is of no use to Harry, and 50 points if you can get the diary through Myrtle's nose. And that's all I have. I wrote movieism, and I can't remember why.
What does Ron say something differently in the movie?
Myrtle does actually. Myrtle's like, she says that. She's
Myrtle
like,
says all of that.
It's like 10 points if you get it through her head, 50 points if you get it through her stomach or whatever she does. And she
But she
punches
says
Ron.
that in the book.
Yeah,
She says it
but
less.
but Ron says, I don't know, guys. I'm pregnant.
You can't always use that excuse.
I can until this
Just
little
kidding.
babe's born. So
Hermione.
I see green, and
yeah.
Hermione.
Go for it. So Hermione gets to leave the hospital wing, de-whiskered, tailless, and fur-free at the beginning of February. So she's been in there since Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
They did say for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So Hermione was as interested in the diary as Harry was, which I find interesting because normally she would like edge on the, what is that? Edge on the air of caution? Caution.
That's right, but
Yeah, something like that. She would
Air.
err on the side of caution. That's what I wanted to say. So they make the connection that the chamber was open 50 years ago, and the diary is 50 years old, and T.M. Riddle got an award for special services to the school 50 years ago.
triple tap.
So 50, that makes that the diary should be from around that time. So maybe there's some information in there about the chamber.
Maybe connected.
So she taps the diary 3 times, and uses
Parasium?
Apparicium, whatever the spell is, but it's supposed to reveal hidden information in an object, but it doesn't work. She also then tries to use a revealer, which looks like a bright red eraser, and that doesn't work either. But Ron is not convinced that the diary is anything at all, which seems kind of Ron-ish. He just wants to let it go, move on,
Yeah.
go on to something else. So Harry seems to have a connection to the diary that he could not explain, even to himself, why he didn't just throw Riddle's diary away. The fact was that even though he knew the diary was blank, he kept absentmindedly picking it up and turning the pages as though it were a story he wanted to finish. And while Harry was sure he had never heard the name T.M. Riddle before, it still seemed to mean something to him, almost as though Riddle was a friend he'd had when he was very small and had half forgotten. But this was absurd. He'd never had friends before Hogwarts. Dudley had made sure of that. I'm assuming that this is the Horcrux inside him saying,
Yes.
hey,
Yep.
that's me.
We buddies.
We're biffles, as I said before.
Two birds of a feather, right?
Yeah. So the trio goes to the trophy room to see Riddle.
Two souls of an evil
Wait,
person.
I have something to say.
I too.
Well, mine is something to say about the word apparicium.
Okay, I don't have anything to say about that.
From the Latin word appareo, A-P-P-A-R-E-O, meaning to become visible.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Fun.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Old friend, right?
Yeah.
Horcruxes have a way
Of communicating with each other.
and of reaching in,
Yeah.
and grasping whatever they can to get.
An emotional connection.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's feeding
Yeah.
off that. It fed off Ron.
Yep.
It's feeding
Ginny.
off Ginny. Gonna start to feed off Harry.
Yep. But there's even more of a connection with Harry, right? So it's like probably even a stronger.
It's like, oh hey,
Feeling.
we're the same thing.
We're one and the same.
Yep.
Yes. So the trio goes to the trophy room to see Riddle's award. Riddle's award. What? Thinking that maybe there will be some info there that they can see, but there's no details. It's just his name on an old medal of magical merit, and on a list of old head boys.
Odd that they kept that around.
It is kind of weird, but I mean, history is history,
Well,
right?
you find out later that a lot of people forget because he changed
A lot
so
of people
much.
don't really make the connection
Yes.
that he's Voldemort.
Because once he
Dumbledore
left
knows.
school, yeah, but you can't change history. So you might as well just have
Laundry.
it in there.
Sheets are done.
So
Ron says that he sounds a lot like Percy. And then Hermione is like,
A little bit.
is that such a bad thing?
well,
Prefect head boy.
you ask Percy after his brother dies in his arms how he feels about
Hashtag true story.
Hashtag that's none of my business.
I'm sure he's got a lot of regrets,
So Hogwarts has seemed to become more hopeful because it's been quite a while since an attack has happened. And the mandrakes are growing. They are becoming moody and secretive. So they are
sound like me.
fast leaving childhood. The moment their acne clears up, they'll be ready for repotting again, Professor Sprout tells Filch. Because, he's all up in her business about when Mrs. Norris is going to be back around.
Hey, if my cat got petrified, I'd be sad too.
Yeah, but at least our cats aren't meanies.
Yeah.
Well, Iggy can be, but not like Mrs. Norris.
No.
I think all cats have a little Mrs. Norris in them.
I think
I
all cats,
agree.
for the most part, are Slytherin.
No, but yes.
Not mine. Mine's a
Teddy's a
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
I
know,
have
know.
never met, other than yours, a cat that liked me right away.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think any cat actually likes me because they just know that I'm a dog person. It's not that I
can
don't
smell
like
it on you.
cats. I try.
Cats for life.
They just don't care for me.
So Harry is thinking that maybe the heir of Slytherin lost their nerve because the school's so alert and suspicious now, so they're not going to attack again.
I feel like that's such a 12-year-old thought. It's cool now.
Yeah, we're good.
It's all
It's gonna
good.
die.
And then Lockhart seems to be spreading the rumor that it's because of him that there have been no attacks. The culprit must have known it was only a matter of time before I caught him. Rather sensible to stop now before I came down hard on him.
He's so right. He is so right, you guys.
I can't handle
You
it.
can't even joke about it, Katie.
Can't handle Gilderoy Lockhart.
She's like, no.
Now.
Oh.
Commercial break. Katie, do you want
Hold
to read
on.
it? Sarah, do you want to read it?
Before
Sarah
we go to
should read
commercial
it.
break,
Yeah, Sarah, you should read it.
thinking of mandrakes. Are they like alive when they get?
I know. I
Yes.
always think about that, and it just makes me sad.
Or do you think they put them to sleep? Or are they like hacking you up?
Listen, they don't put lobsters to
Or-
sleep when they boil them.
True.
Do they get old and die? Yeah, that's
no.
true.
No, I think they pick them in their prime. I think they're prime age.
Yeah, but they like
Yeah, I
do it
agree.
after they're like climbing into each other's pods.
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
Down, chicka, wow, wow, boop, boop,
they're making little mandrakes.
Yeah.
Is that how you get more mandrakes?
I would assume.
The little
If
ones
they're,
get
hey, if you're
pregnant?
climbing into someone else's pot, I gotta assume
But do you think they're like
something's happening.
polyamorous? Do you think that they all like they don't discriminate on whose pots they're getting into?
I don't think they care.
Whose pot is
Or
closest?
do you think they're like
right.
where there's animals that like it doesn't matter either sex can get pregnant? I wonder.
Or
think a guy
are
get-
they like penguins and other species that mate for life? Penguins do that, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't
they're not
know.
going to
I
be
know
mating for
wolves
very
do.
long if Sprout's
do?
chopping them up.
Wolves.
Who do?
Wolves mate for life, don't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just a thought. I was just it's a sad thought.
It is.
The screaming roots.
The screaming roots are screaming when they die.
Oh, Tiffany.
What?
You brought it
There had been another thought I was thinking of when I was reading about
Thought I
mandrakes,
was
but
thinking.
I
Yeah,
don't remember. It
no.
was something about earmuffs, and I don't remember what it was.
I gotta figure that they're.
How can she teach when they're all wearing headphones,
Earmuffs.
earmuffs that they shouldn't be able to hear?
They're watching her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how
because-
can you read lips?
It doesn't matter. I mean, you're watching.
I know. I need instruction.
Read my lips and come to grips with reality.
Okay. The Regent is Studio's premium on-ear model with impeccable clarity in the instrumental tones and well-balanced sound. With 24-hour plus hours of active battery life, and 20 days of standby life, the Regent is also the perfect companion for you at home or on the go. It will connect to any device that has Bluetooth, but there is also an auxiliary cord if you don't want to use the wireless option. You can also personalize your Regent interchangeable caps, such as white or black marble designs. The combination of high polished metal and matte surfaces embodies the vision of Scandinavian design. Make sure you head on over to www.studio.com and enter code Swish and Flick for 15% off your purchase.
Good job.
Dun dun.
Welcome back. So, Lockhart, my favorite person in all of these books,
Mine too.
gets this amazing idea to celebrate Valentine's Day at Hogwarts.
Boost morale. I
Right,
think
yeah.
that's the wording.
We need a morale booster around the school to wash away the memories of last term. So Harry walks into the Great Hall on the 14th of February, and the walls were covered with large, how do you say that word? Lurid pink flowers. Worse still, heart-shaped confetti was falling from the pale blue ceiling, also pink.
Also to backtrack.
Ron looked sickened, and Hermione was overcome with giggles.
I wonder if she secretly loved it.
Yeah, right? Probably.
She's probably thinking, "Oh, Lockhart did it so beautiful."
Or she's just very amused with how sickened Ron is by everything. So Lockhart's also in pink robes to match all the decorations. All the other teachers thank you.
It's a sad week.
Yeah, what was
I didn't
that?
want to interrupt you.
Do it again. Thank you.
I will say, I would be Lockhart. I'm the person that
I love this day.
not specifically that I love Valentine's Day because I've never dated anyone on Valentine's Day, so I've always been a single Sally. But I'm the person that any holiday, I
love it.
will wear that color. I wear
Yeah.
red around Valentine's Day. I wear red or green around Christmas. I wear pastels Easter.
We're holiday people.
I'm also, well, I'm not going to get into that, but I like being themed.
Yeah.
So I am Lockhart.
Yeah, I feel that.
I'm just
but
better
the
than him.
cool part, not the annoying
Yeah,
part.
not the douchebaggery.
So all the other teachers don't look very amused. They're all very stony-faced. McGonagall looked super annoyed, and Snape, he looked as though someone had just fed him a large beaker of Skelligro.
Well, he's missing his Valentine.
Oh, that's
All right,
deep.
well, what does he need Skelegrow for that?
Well, it's his fault.
Is that gonna help him grow a heart? I'm just kidding.
See the Tin Man. Tin Man needed a heart, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He also is a man.
You guys, I'm not really sure of anything that I actually have known before this baby has been in my body. So if I ask a lot of questions, it's because I don't know.
So 46 people have sent Lockhart a Valentine, Hermione
Snape got
included.
No. But honestly, he's not. That's not his MO.
He would be mad if he got some, I bet.
He's
Not
not.
if it was
He's
from
not
Lily.
He's not looking
Yeah,
at any
well,
other ladies.
He killed her, so
He didn't kill her.
he basically made it happen.
We're gonna have that Snape episode real soon.
Feel bad for little Snapey Snape.
I'm
Sometimes
coming
I do.
around, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't hate anybody in this series except for Umbridge.
True.
Ugh.
True that.
So-
That's a true statement.
We're gonna get deep and sweaty.
Once
on
we
that.
get to that, we're gonna have like.
I mean, then there's Voldemort, you know?
yeah, but like I like him better than Umbridge.
Yeah, I agree, but I still
we
like
know Umbridge's history, and her history is just of being a.
We know his history too.
But no, I'm saying like we don't know her reasons for being a meep aren't anything
There's no
except
basis
hate.
behind them.
Yeah. I mean, we'll dive deeper into that because I don't know for sure because I don't know anything really for sure anymore. But we'll
But there's
get
plenty
into
of
that.
history to
Yeah.
delve into with Voldemort.
We're gonna dissect all your major
Voldemort,
characters. So
Voldemort.
Nature versus
Don't worry.
nurture, am I right?
Voldemort.
Am I right?
Bump, bump.
Katie, would you like to read what you've been trying to
Sure.
read for the
No.
past 5 minutes?
So not only are there horrible decorations everywhere, but Lockhart has also... What? Oh my god.
I just jokingly took Tiffany's airhead and she yelled at me silently. I mean, I was never actually gonna
Silently.
take it.
I did. She knew what I said
You're like wheezing over there.
because it was amazing.
I'm sorry, Katie.
Airhead.
Oh my god.
Okay,
it's
Katie,
okay.
I'm so sorry.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
fine.
It was your wife's
That
fault,
was-
though.
It was me.
It's all right. I'll forgive you because I love you.
I love you too.
So Lockhart hired these surly-looking dwarves, about
Surly.
a dozen of them.
I think this is so mean.
Yes.
He had them wearing golden wings and carrying harps. So I want to read what he said. My friendly card-carrying cupids, beamed Lockhart. They will be roving around the school today, delivering your valentines. And the fun doesn't stop there. I'm sure my colleagues will want to enter into the spirit of the occasion. Why not ask Professor Snape to show you how to whip up a love potion? And while you're at it, Professor Flitwick knows more about entrancing enchantments than any wizard I've met, the sly old dog. Professor Flitwick buried his face in his hands. Snape was looking as though the first person to ask him for a love potion would be force-fed poison.
Do you think that Flitwick really did do that and that's why he's embarrassed?
No, probably not.
You don't know. Maybe he's gotten all the
We
ladies.
don't know what he
maybe.
does.
He is not only a charms teacher, but he's a charming teacher.
Oh, he charms them.
Charms the
Oh my
ladies.
God.
A charming lad.
So these dwarves were bursting into classes all day long to deliver valentines, much to the teacher's annoyance.
Yeah,
I would have loved that because it would, like we wouldn't have been able to get anything done.
I know.
That day.
And none for Gretchen Wieners.
Yeah.
Bye.
4 for Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco.
Dude,
But,
that's
like-
2 episodes in a row we've had a Mean Girls reference.
I remember, like, in high school and stuff, I'm like, I don't like interruptions in my classroom. Like, when I was, like,
Nor do
in school. So I was like, come on. Like, either do it at the beginning or the end. Like, don't do it, like, right in the middle of, like, our lesson. Especially if, like, this is the Ravenclaw coming out of me. And I'm not even, like, a fan of, like, for me personally, school.
For me.
But, like... You know, you're in the middle of a good discussion and someone comes in, like, we're all going to lose our train of thought and then we're going to, like, be fumbling. So, like, either do it at the beginning before we've even started or do it at the end when we're finished.
You just spoke for every teacher across the globe.
But, like, it bothers me. And I'm just a wee little student.
I'm just a student trying to learn.
I loved it.
You would.
Bring all them interruptions, man.
Yeah.
I don't like the pepper out potion because then you can't take a sick day.
Well,
Even Harry gets a Valentine's, guys.
Ooh.
He's not very happy about it, though.
His future wife.
He tries to get away from the dwarf, who's very insistent. He even twangs his harp in a threatening sort of way because he has.
I feel like it's like the devil went down to Georgia. It's like Steel.
So as he's trying to get away so hard, his bag rips and his ink bottle smashes all over his things.
Would have been so mad.
Yeah.
And poor Harry.
You forget that he's a wizard and could just be like,
Yeah, but
Right.
in the
Or-
next scene, he's
Squirtify?
like, all my stuff is covered in ink. He didn't think of that.
well, because he's dumb. He's
Maybe
not
he
a
doesn't
Ravenclaw.
know
I
that
know.
spell yet, guys.
Scorchify.
But poor Harry, just about like the whole school seems to be in that corridor listening to this Valentine, which reads, his eyes are as green as a fresh pickled toad. His hair is as black as his hair is as dark as a blackboard. I wish he was mine. He's really divine. The hero who conquered the Dark Lord.
Here's my question, though. Jenny must have known they were going to read it in front of, like, at least someone besides Harry was going to hear it. I would be mortified just to know the fact that Harry was going to hear it. I would have written
I
that
like
stuff in
it.
my secret little diary and said, well, what do you
She
think about
doesn't
this?
have it.
Not then, but like
Actually,
before.
she probably did. So Tom Riddle helped write
Yeah, see, there you
Valentine.
go.
Have you ever seen that online?
No.
Tom Riddle helped write Harry a Valentine.
I don't know, ma'am.
I need to see it.
Because then she's, like, mortified, but, like, that's your own fault.
Like,
True.
she is.
And
one
then
with
poor
words.
Malfoy just like calls her out.
Poor Malfoy.
I meant Jenny.
Being a jerk.
I was like,
I meant Jenny.
Wait,
poor
what?
Jenny.
Yeah, Malfoy's like, I don't think Potter liked your Valentine much. All spiteful.
and I love that he like says it like,
Yeah.
you gotta get something out soon. You need like your Valentine.
But I think he's sour because he finds
Maybe he didn't
Riddle's
get a
diary.
Valentine.
I'm like, oh, sucks that you didn't get one.
What's her
you
face?
know,
would have
Pansy
said
Parkinson
Pansy
sent
Parkinson. She
Oh
would
my
have
God.
Maybe she didn't
composed
have,
something.
Maybe she wasn't brave enough to send one.
She is a Slytherin.
It's none of
They're
my
not-
business.
They're not brave. They can be. I'm brave.
They're not brave.
I think he's sour though because he finds Riddle's diary on the floor but thinks it's Harry. And Harry one-ups him. He uses Expelliarmus for the first time.
Yes.
Gets that diary back.
Yeah.
in the hallway. Naughty, naughty.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Harry's like, I don't care.
So
Give up.
Yep.
this ink bottle smashed all over his stuff, but he notices that Riddle's diary seems to be perfectly clean.
Dun, dun, dun.
So later on that night, he decides to do a little bit more investigating. So he just drops like an ink blot on there and it absorbs. So he quickly writes like, "My name is Harry Potter." Is that what he writes? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
And
sinks
I'm here
in.
to say, what?
Oh my gosh.
Guys, someone writes back.
Who?
What?
Tom Riddle.
This is what happens when
Too much coffee.
people are on their second cups.
Yep.
Sarah's on her third. I'm on my first because I can only have
My
one.
I finished my second.
Y'all are nutty.
Blah, 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 blah,
But
blah.
that was like perfect, like going into like a good Harry Potter rhyme/rap.
Yeah. No,
My
I
name's
get
Harry
it.
Potter. I'm here to say.
Say
I want to
what?
know what your secrets are. Open up and tell me what you know.
Oh my gosh. Poor Katie.
I just don't even know how to react to that. That's all. It's Tom Riddle.
What?
Yeah.
Who's that?
And I forgot because I'm so saturated with the movies how much more information we get in writing form. Because in
Yeah.
the movie, it's just like Harry's just like randomly like, "Hey, do you know anything about the Chamber of Secrets?"
Yeah.
Instead of like delving into it a little bit more.
He's like, bro, I know lots.
Right.
Take a little time in these movies to just like, come on.
Yeah. Riddle explains a lot more in
Kills me.
writing. Also, I believe that it is in green ink.
Is it? I know that whatever color ink Harry used is what it comes back as. It like uses his own ink.
I don't know. Oh no, it's Scarlet.
Scarlet.
My bad. Scarlet.
Scarlet.
But yeah, so
Scarlet, you're turning scarlet.
Violet. But what do I know?
Nothing.
yeah.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, that's blue.
Into the diary.
All right, so Harry starts to write in the diary, and shockingly, it writes back. So we basically, you didn't really talk about it. So I just went right into like him telling him it would be easier to show him how he knows about the Chamber of Secrets.
I also. Oh wait. You go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you're gonna say this. It like turns into. Doesn't it compare it to
Yeah.
like a television screen?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Do you want me to? Were you gonna read 40 or 41?
Nope, I was just doing that.
Do it, Sarah Bear.
reference.
No, I'll just read some of it because he's like,
Jeez.
Harry says, that someone tried to flush it down the toilet, and he's like, oh, it's a good thing I recorded my memories in some more lasting ways than ink. Interesting. But I always knew that there would be those who would not want this diary read. And Harry's like, what you mean? And he's like, I mean that this diary holds memories of terrible things, things that were covered up, things that happened at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And Harry's like, well, that's where I'm at now. And he's like, of course I know about the Chamber of Secrets. In my day, they told us it was a legend that did not exist. But it was a lie. In my 5th year, the chamber was opened, and the monster attacked several students, finally killing one. I caught the person who'd opened the chamber, and he was expelled. But the headmaster, Professor Dibbit, ashamed that such a thing had happened at Hogwarts, forbade me to tell the truth. So, reading this, it goes back to Lucius maybe legitimately didn't know because
Yeah.
he didn't want the truth out.
Yeah. Yep.
A story was given out that the girl had died in a freak accident. They gave me a nice, shiny, engraved trophy for my trouble and warned me to keep my mouth shut, but I knew it could happen again. The monster lived on, and the one who had the power to release it was not imprisoned. So then he was like, I can show you. It's just easier, which I can understand. Sometimes, texting. It's easier just to tell you and call you on the phone and tell you than texting. It says, the pages of the diary began to blow as though caught in a high wind. Stopping halfway through the month of June, mouth hanging open, Harry saw that the little square for June 13th seemed to have turned into a minuscule television screen. His hands trembling slightly, he raised the book to press his eye against the little window.
Can you just see this happening?
And before he knew what was happening, he was tilted forward. The window was widening. He felt his body leave his bed, and he was pitched headfirst through the opening in the page into a whirl of color and shadows.
The pages turning. This is not Potter related, but the pages turning in the book remind me of the Addams Family when they open up the books in the library to like find the vault, and the one is like the storm. I'm just saying.
So, my first question is,
Yes.
I wonder like how this particular scene is similar yet different than like using a pensieve. Like, is it the same kind of thing? Do you feel the same way going in?
Did it say he like dipped? Because like in the pensieve you like fall, sort of, right?
Well, but like,
Does
when
he
you
feel
use
like
the
that?
pensieve,
Yeah, go ahead.
don't you just stick your head in and you do feel like you're immersed in the whole
But you're
thing?
just bent over.
And to the way that this is described, I feel like he's legitimately inside the diary.
Yeah, I
don't
agree.
know.
Does he?
Because later
Does
on,
it say he leaves his bed?
Yeah.
yeah, basically,
Because when he shoots out of it, he's
felt
like,
his
I'm
body
spread
leave.
eagle.
Yeah.
He like lands spread eagle on the bed, and then Ron's like, oh, there you are.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
What perfect timing is that?
For real, yo.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's inside an office, which he immediately recognizes as Dumbledore's office, but it wasn't Dumbledore sitting behind the desk. It was a wizened, frail-looking wizard, bald except for a few wisps of white hair, and he was reading by candlelight. So Harry's like, because this is the first time he's ever been in any type of situation like this. He hasn't seen a pensieve or anything.
And this is like a pensieve where you
Correct.
nobody.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he's like being like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. And the guy's like not paying attention. So at first Harry's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'll go now. And so as he's about to leave, there's a knock on the door. A boy comes in. He's about 16. He has a silver prefect's badge glinting on his chest. He was much taller than Harry, but he too had jet black hair.
He too.
And so we find out that this is Time Riddle. And he's like, he wants to, I think he asked Dibbit before, correct? That he was, he sent him a letter asking him if he could stay over the summer holidays because he doesn't want to go home. Which, I mean, I wouldn't want to go back to an orphanage either. And then he was like, we probably would have been able to accommodate you, but with everything going on, it's just not safe.
Because they're like legitimately talking schools being shut down potentially. Yeah.
And so we find out that Tom Riddle is a half-blood. Well, he goes, "You're a muggle-born." He's like, "Half-blood, sir. Muggle father, witch mother." And he goes, "Are both of your parents?" And he goes, "My mother died just after I was born, sir. They told me at the orphanage she lived just long enough to name me. Tom after my father, Marvolo after my grandfather."
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And playing on his emotions.
Nice.
Also, just like, I mean, obviously we know Tom Riddle's not a good person, but
What?
we have to give him some credit here for keeping Hogwarts around, right?
It was selfish.
It was selfish, obviously, because...
What do you mean keeping Hogwarts around?
Well, he
the
stopped
reason-
killing people so he could stay.
No. No, I mean, like, so, we know that he opened the chamber or whatever, right? So
Yes.
he realizes at this point, oh, shoot, what I did is going to get this school shut down.
Just for him,
So
though.
selfishly, what?
Just for him.
Right. No, I know.
Yeah.
So selfishly, he's like, oh, well, I need to pin this on somebody so that Hogwarts doesn't get shut down because I want this place to stay around. So, I mean, not really good reasons.
You're
but,
grasping at straws.
Yeah.
but he saved Hogwarts from being shut down.
It's his fault that Hogwarts is in trouble.
I know, but he's like realizing what his actions did, so he's like, oh shoot, I need to backpedal on this a little bit and like keep Hogwarts from being shut down.
Only because he wants to stay there.
Yeah.
It
I know.
has nothing to do with anybody else but him.
Oh, I know.
Tom Riddle for saving Hogwarts.
I like in the book how
I know.
when he leaves Dippett's office, like there's an actual, you can see his deep thought and there's
Yeah.
a struggle. Like, do I continue the work of the heir of Slytherin or
do I backpedal?
save my home?
Right. It's selfish, but he does it.
Oh my lord.
So
You're
I'm not
grasping.
saying it's a good thing. I'm just pointing it out.
Riddle is told that there's been no attack. Had there been no attacks, he probably would have been allowed to stay. But seeing as a girl died, it isn't safe. So Riddle's like, whoa, maybe. What if the attack stopped? Would he be allowed to stay? So he's like,
That's such a kid thing to be like, oh, well, I can do this. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
put this little piece of info like, oh, well, if they stop, will it be all right? AKA, you're the cause of it.
right.
Yeah.
So he's like, sir, if the person was caught, if it all stopped. What do you mean? Said Dibbit with a squeak in his voice, sitting up in his chair. Riddle, do you mean you know something about the attacks? No, sir, said Riddle quickly. But Harry was sure of it. Oh my God, I can't read. But Harry was sure it was the same sort of no that he himself had given Dumbledore.
Alike?
Yes.
So Dibbit sank back, looking faintly disappointed. And then it does say, once he leaves, he stops. So did Harry, watching him. Harry could tell that Riddle was doing some serious thinking. He was biting his lip, his forehead furrowed. Yeah. Furrowed. So Harry follows Riddle out of the room, and then we see a younger Dumbledore, a 50-year younger Dumbledore, asking why Tom is out so late. And so it seems that Dumbledore is a bit wary of Tom, because he's like, I was just talking to the headmaster, bro. Leave me alone. And so
Everybody's bro.
how much do you think Dumbledore knows of what's going on? Like, do you think he suspected Tom was, like, the culprit? Because we know that he does not think it's Hagrid. For sure.
I think if he didn't then, he does after for sure.
So maybe he just had an inkling then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that he's
your
just...
bad news bears.
Yeah. He is wary of Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just makes me wonder, like, with occlumency and all of that. Because, like,
But does
but if I'm
Dumbledore have occlumency? Or, I mean, not-
Legilimens.
legilimens, yes.
But-
sorry.
Tom probably is very good at occlumency. So,
Well, that's what I'm
or
thinking.
saying, like, these are the things I'm going to push forward. In my head, it's like, and the way that I think of it is like I have like a wall.
Yeah.
But like with how clever Dumbledore is, I'm sure that to a point
Well-
he can probably see what he's doing in his mind.
That's what I'm saying, but like maybe
Yeah.
he's seeing like why does he have a wall up? Like that's interesting to me. Like
Right.
he's seeing into his mind, thinking like clearly
And he
he is
needs-
legitimately hiding something.
And he needs the evidence.
Yeah.
And I also wonder.
Legitimately, I'm glad I'm a legilimens.
Oh my lord. And I'm thinking back to our last episode when he says, is there anything you'd like to tell me, Harry? Anything at all? He knows what Harry's doing.
Yeah,
he knows what he's thinking.
Yeah.
He's just giving him an opportunity to come forward.
Yeah.
It's like when you know someone's lying and you give them like the opportunity to be like, okay, come on, come clean.
So,
Interesting.
After that encounter, they continue down into the dungeons, and then they come around a corner and they see a huge boy crouching in front of an open door. Turns out that huge boy is Hagrid.
Hey.
What?
What? Riddle is here to turn him in because Hagrid's hiding a monster in the school and that the attacks need to stop. And Hagrid's like, bro, y'all know me. I'm a little creatures. It ain't him.
Foreshadowing Aragog there.
Yep.
Correct.
Too.
Yep.
So he is sure Hagrid never meant for anyone to get hurt or killed. So Hagrid still tries to defend the beast, but Riddle doesn't listen, blasts the door behind Hagrid, and a vast, low-slung, hairy body and a tangle of black legs, a gleam of many eyes, and a pair of razor-sharp pincers came out.
Is anybody like legitimately a fan of spiders? Like everybody has to hate them, right?
No, there are people that
I don't
own
think-
tarantulas.
Yeah.
My
And they're
uncle
like
loves spiders.
pets.
Gross.
Also, I don't know if you're gonna read this, but Harry is like terrified.
Oh, yeah, I was going to read what it...
Yeah.
So, like, when he... Riddle blasts the door open, and this is what it says. And out of it came something that made Harry let out a long, piercing scream unheard by anybody.
That's
Because
crazy.
think about, like, how... I'd be terrified.
A long, piercing scream.
Yeah. I, too, would scream. So before Riddle could get to the beast, it ran out of sight. He tries to follow it, but Hagrid tackles him and takes his wand. Which I think was interesting, that Hagrid's willing to literally get into a fight. Like, you could probably crush Riddle.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's
Size-wise, at least.
yeah.
So the scene changes, and Harry falls back with a crash onto his bed. The diary is lying on his stomach. He's spread eagle on his bed. Ron walks into the room, and Harry tells him the news, but he doesn't want to be real. Hagrid opened the Chamber of Secrets. Whoa.
I can't believe that like he believes that. But I mean,
what
how is he
yeah.
not
But
supposed to believe it?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where, like, he's probably sick. You know what I mean? Sick to his stomach, thinking, like, oh my gosh, I could understand why this might be true. Like, Hagrid's such a nice guy that he genuinely didn't mean to open it, thinking that he doesn't
Right.
know what really happened.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's so many things, like, he had a dragon, you know what I mean? Sometimes
Right.
Hagrid doesn't make the smartest choices. I still love him.
Yeah.
I like
is
in the
true.
movie when Harry's getting pulled out of the diary, he's like, Hagrid.
Totally forgot about that. Wow. All right. Well, let's get into our lightning bolt round then. I have a question. Would you have went into the diary?
Yeah.
Probably.
I think I would have been curious and then I wouldn't have had a choice. I would have been in there.
I would not have went.
Really?
I would have asked someone.
I'm too curious.
Yeah.
I'm all about like teamwork, so I'd be like, let's make the dream work.
Like, hey Ron, come with
No,
me.
no, I would have gotten like a friend.
Okay.
'Cause two is better than one.
So my question is, do
Yeah.
you think that Hermione just had to wait till the effects of the Polyjuice potion wore off to go back to
Probably.
normal? Or do you think Madame Pomfrey had some special Polyjuice juice?
I mean, I think
The
she may have had
dejuicer.
something that would like help.
She did have to take an evening potion.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
she
you're
did take a
right.
potion.
But like, what do
medicine.
you think that would have been?
Defer.
Skelegrow.
Anti hairball.
I wonder if they have like a potion that like you can
Reverses
take
the
that like
effects.
gives like takes away hair. Like say you because you know most women, not everybody, and then some guys, whatever, like shave their legs, armpits, whatever. I wonder if they could take a potion
Give me that potion.
and like they wouldn't have to shave. So I wonder if that's something she'd have to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or if they have like a general like a Tylenol where you take like anything like that that's supposed to like you have a headache or something hurts or whatever, you take it and it's gonna not only like affect your headache or whatever's aching, it affects your entire body. So I wonder if they have like a general potion that like, you know, something's not right, so it fixes everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
I wonder if
They
it's
gotta have something for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it has to like work on just like the removal of like the polyjuice potion effects. Otherwise, she'd be like bald, like no eyelashes.
well, no,
or
for
eyebrows.
sure, but like for sure,
Removes fur, not hair.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
What would you be afraid to see coming out of besides a spider?
It would be a spider.
Centipede.
Oh.
Blast undid Scroot. Probably scary.
Would you have done your homework if you were Hermione?
No.
I would have.
I would have
No.
Because I wouldn't want to have the stress of like coming back and catching up on
I would have
crap.
just whined and been like, can't you just give me the grades for it?
Oh my god.
Snape would have failed you.
I am probably Tiffany's like worst nightmare in a student.
Yep. Hands down.
Would you have sent anybody a Valentine? What would it have said?
Marty.
I'm sure that I would have.
Meg, I would have sent you a Valentine.
What would it have said?
The wand chooses the wizard, but I choose you.
I choose you.
The first Valentine I ever sent was this year.
That's cute.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have. It depends if I had a special someone, but I don't think I would have let them know it was me. A secret admirer. Ooh. And it would have been like, I'm seriously into you.
You can send one to Fozzie Bear. He likes Valentines.
I'm the wolf to your bark.
Would you have believed that Hagrid opened the chamber?
No.
I wouldn't want to believe it.
Yeah, I'm with Katie.
I would be skeptical.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
skeptical just based on like your relationship with him.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd want more evidence.
Yeah.
I'd want to go talk to Hagrid.
Yeah, you gotta go to the source.
Because Hagrid's a trustworthy, honest bloke.
I would agree.
He would tell you.
I also think that's interesting.
Well,
like,
try.
Yeah.
it makes me think of in 7 in the forest. He's got Hagrid all tied up and stuff. It's like they have a history. Like Voldemort and Hagrid have a history.
Yeah.
And it just makes that scene just so much more interesting.
Yeah. I wonder
It's
how
interesting
close
he
they
didn't
were.
kill Hagrid.
Like,
I know it's really hard, right? Because he's half giant.
maybe they were friends.
I don't know if they were friends though.
'Cause the
but
way
the way they talk to each other
It's friendly.
It is a little friendly. It's weird. Maybe he thought that maybe eventually he could get him like to come over.
Yeah.
Probably.
Dark side.
I wouldn't
They are
be
like
shocked,
3
though.
years
Maybe he
apart.
respected him for like.
I mean, everybody usually, not everybody, but most people respected Tom Riddle.
I meant
Right,
maybe Voldemort respected Hagrid.
He probably thought he was scum.
Okay,
be
well, he
real.
thinks everybody is scum, but like
Half breed. That's what he probably thought.
maybe he.
Well,
was
That's
yeah,
a Cher
but-
song, right?
Is yeah, but at least neither of his parents were muggles. So like there's that. He could right?
Who? No,
Yeah.
his dad was a muggle.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
He wasn't
Hagrid's
just
dad.
a wizard?
No, his dad was a muggle.
I thought he was a wizard.
Was he a wizard?
No, I'm confused.
Now, y'all aren't pregnant. You have no excuse.
I'm sorry.
Listen, there's a lot of information in the Potterverse.
I just know he's
Sarah, you pulling it up? I
We
see.
don't have a
I
fact
ca-
file.
Maybe I made that up.
Hagrid doesn't have a fact file.
Is
Oh, I lied. I
Hagrid's
just couldn't find
dad
Oh,
Human. It says.
just says human.
okay.
So, but usually they say Muggle if it's a Muggle.
Rubius
no.
Rubius Hagrid's father was a wizard.
I am
Okay.
incorrect.
Under his fact
Wikia.
file, it says his parents,
Wiki.
Mr. Hagrid, human, and Fridwola, giantess. That's just like his dad's name is Mr. Hagrid.
Now, answer me this: giants, do they have magical abilities?
I'm sure they have some sort of magical something.
They're magically deliciously tall. I don't know.
But can they perform magic? I don't know.
He's resistant to stunning spells.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He has a crossbowmanship. Above average strength.
I don't know. Now I'm questioning giants.
God, he's old. He's like 91 or 90. He's
Hagrid?
90. He'll be 90 in December.
Jeez.
All right.
What else do we got?
Oh, I had a question and I forgot it.
It doesn't say that they're
Oh,
magical.
would you have actually picked up the book
Yeah.
after listening to Ron's like
Yeah.
spiel?
I wouldn't have because it would be covered in toilet water. I would have left it there.
But nobody in that ever uses that toilet.
Doesn't matter.
It's filled with
You could have like
tears and sorrow.
Acioed it and then been like
Maybe I would have levitated it to my dormitory.
I wonder if there's like a
How do you disinfect that though, Katie?
Scored
disinfecticus, you know?
It's
I'm
Lysolo.
sure there's a Cloroxio.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't say that giants have magic.
dear Joe.
It just says their dangers and their habitat.
Well,
Would you have sent a card to a teacher /
No.
The next year I would have.
Oh, Katie. No, I'm not about that life.
Yeah, me either. Well, you are, because you probably get them. Did you get Valentines from any of your students?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff.
See, there you go.
You're popular.
You want us to do it because you're the teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me your stuff.
Give me your shit, man. Give me your tats.
All right. Any more questions? We're moving on.
Why is the sky blue? Who is Harry Potter? Why do we do this?
Are we ready for our fan story?
Yep.
yeah.
All right. This one comes from Sammy Layden. They said, when I was 7 years old, my mom started reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone to me at bedtime. I was hooked almost immediately. Most of the kids in my class were reading them, and I remember several heated debates about how to pronounce Hermione's name and what hand motions would go along with specific spells. After we had gotten through the second book together, I couldn't bear to only read a chapter a night anymore, and I started to read them for myself. My mom and I were always reading them at the same time, and I was always a little faster and couldn't wait for my mom to catch up so we could talk about what was happening. We started going to the movies and midnight premieres, and my best friend Lindsay and I saw many of the movies multiple times in theaters as well. When the last book came out, I was camping with my family in the middle of nowhere and insisted that we take an hour-long drive to the nearest bookstore to buy it the day it came out. I finished it later that afternoon and remember being so heartbroken that the journey was over. I felt like Harry Potter had been in the forefront of my entire life, and now I didn't know what to do. I reread the books countless times and dressed as Hermione for Halloween every year for 7 years. I'm so glad that in so many ways the journey hasn't ended and continues to expand. When they announced that the Wizarding World of Harry Potter would be opening in Hollywood, my mom, sister, and I knew we had to go. We went last year, and I was so afraid that it wouldn't live up to what I wanted it to be, but it absolutely surpassed my expectations. I've been itching to go back ever since. I'm a Ravenclaw, and my Patronus is a Basset Hound.
Oh, I love Basset Hounds.
awesome.
My wand is Larchwood with a phoenix feather core.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that one.
10 3/4 inch length and unyielding flexibility. I absolutely love the podcast. You guys are so much fun to listen to.
Thank you, Sammy.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I love the family relationships that a lot of Potter people have too. Like a lot of my family was reading it at the same time, and me and Meg read it all at the same time. And
My mom got me into it, but she didn't really read them with me. She ended up reading them eventually, but I love it. Do you have anything on Larchwood?
Yeah. Strong, durable, and warm in color, larch has long been valued as an attractive and powerful wandwood. Its reputation for instilling courage and confidence in its user has ensured that demand has always outstripped supply.
whoa.
Popular wood. This much sought after wand, however, hard to please in a matter of ideal owners and trickier to handle than many imagine. I find that it always creates wands of hidden talents and unexpected effects, which likewise describes the master who deserves it. It is often the case that the witch or wizard it belongs to the larch wood may never realize the full extent of their considerable talents until paired with it, but that they will then make an exceptional match. That's a boss wood.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
seem
that's
like
awesome.
you have very powerful magic, Sammy. So thank you for sharing your story with us.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. And keep sending your stories, leave them by voicemail, send them to our Facebook private message.
Email.
That's probably email.
Email.
Yeah. And we will, we're going to keep every episode plugging away. Mm-hmm. So.
Speaking of plugs.
Hey.
Ooh.
So I am also on a podcast called Box Trick, all about video games. Right now, we are doing a playthrough of the Pokemon series.
Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Okay.
I'm playing blue, and my friend Matt Brady is playing red. We're going... Okay. Gym by gym. And then I'm also on a podcast called Rebel Watch, all Star Wars. Star Wars with my friend Ezra Kirk. We are doing watching movie by movie, splitting them into halves. And
What movie are you watching?
diving into all the details. So we just finished The Phantom Menace, and we're going to be recording Attack of the Clones pretty soon.
Whoop, whoop.
So that's my deal.
If you can't get enough of Megan and Katie, because like who can, right?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I know I can't.
We have our own YouTube channel as well called Main Street 9 3/4. The videos that are up there now are a lot of our Disney Universal trips, just like us hanging, showing you all the stuff that we know about the parks.
Drinking some butter beers, eating some Mickey stuff.
Yeah. And
Some Mickey stuff.
Yeah.
we just finished our series on the HP Celebration 2018. So if you wanted to know what that was all about, go check it out. And then, Katie, you want to plug our other
podcast. We have another podcast that goes chronologically through the Walt Disney movies. It's called Grown Up Kids. So if you yourself are a grown up kid,
Head on
highly
over.
suggest.
Do you not want to grow up?
Are you a Toys R Us kids?
Oh, poor
They
one
went out of
out.
business.
Pour one
And
out.
so did we. Bye.
No way.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
I have no other projects except I'm traveling, hopefully, to a lot of new places this year.
Sarah's living her life.
That's my goal. Although Vegas isn't
Becoming
new.
an aunt pretty soon. All right, guys. That concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and don't let the muggles get you down.
Amazing. Just my voice.
Like we said, there's like no meat and potatoes to this chapter. Not really.
Yeah. We get to hear some cupids.
At least for me.
There's some meat and potatoes.
You think so?
I got some meat. I got some potatoes.
You got some potatoes?
I mean, they do eat like breakfast, right?
Are we ready?
Yep.
Welcome to the podcast.